Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your part 2 midweek update for the week of December 27th. We're going to jump right in here, Capricorn, and we are going to see what is going on for you. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, that will be linked up down below, so make sure to go watch part 1. But we're going to add these anchor cards here, and then we're going to get started with your reading. So you start off with this squirrel spirit here. This card says, believe in yourself. I think we kind of talked about this with the Queen of Wands, right? You know, the Queen of Wands in your was your crossing energy in the original reading. Queen of Wands definitely, you know, as a crossing energy says you need to be bold, assertive, and really go for what you want. Part of that is like needing to believe in yourself with this squirrel spirit card. I feel the more you believe in yourself, like the better here, Capricorn. So we're going to start clarifying this first row. With the Death card, you have the Emperor here. The Emperor is about taking the lead. So I do feel, you know, in your first top row, you have the Emperor, Ace with the Death card, the Ace of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, and Page of Pentacles. It's like you are taking the lead on something new, clearly, which we talked about in the first part of your reading. So there's like a lot of success coming in for you with this Emperor. I do get that energy in this first row. Plain and simple. I mean, Queen of Wands and King of Wands like really going for something. The Emperor, he has these ramps on 4 parts of his throne, and it represents really charging forward, really just going for something. I always tell people, I don't know if you've ever seen one of those like videos on YouTube where it's like a person like goes to jump off a diving board. They like jump up and they hesitate and they come down and they hit the diving board or something like that. I kind of get that feeling here where it's like if you hesitate in you know, working towards something, whatever it is you're working towards, like this is clearly part of your personal vision, which we talked about in your first reading with the Wheel of Fortune. It's like you see something bigger for yourself with that Wheel of Fortune and you want to manifest it, whether it's like a business, a career, a job, a relationship, a family, whatever it is you want, doesn't matter. And I feel like this is saying if you hesitate, you're going to come down and hit the diving board. I feel like you need to just take the full leap of faith. It's going to lead to so much freedom. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Five of Swords. Again, you're crossing energy. The Five of Swords is about taking a risk. The Five of Swords says, you know, it can be a card of separation and winning at all costs and all these things. But as a crossing energy, it really says, you know, you need to take some sort of risk. That's how I look at the Five of Swords. It's a risk card to me. The risk is putting yourself out there. It's funny because the Queen of Wands, she's the only court fire card that doesn't have salamanders on her cloak. You can see here on the King of Wands that he has salamanders all over his cloak here, and he even has one right here. So, you know, this represents protection from fire. It's interesting that I read the Five of Swords as needing to take a risk, and the Queen of Wands basically represents needing to take a risk because she has no protection from fire, and she, you know, kind of has to take a risk. With the King of Wands, you have the King of Swords here. It's like you have everything you need. This is a Fool reading. I mean that in the best way possible, as in the Fool card, Capricorn. This reading is asking you to take the leap of faith off the cliff. And again, you might get banged up a little bit too. It's like if you're starting a business or starting a career, starting a relationship, you know, of course, sometimes you might tumble, you might hit a rock on the way down, but I feel like your parachute is going to open. I don't even think you need a parachute because I feel like you have wings, is what this reading is saying. It's like you're going to be flying. So maybe you're kind of like the baby bird that is about to leave the nest here, Capricorn, and it's like you're about to go off on your own. So that's kind of how I see this. And the King of Swords is really a card of, you know, being very direct. Again, I can't get over the fact that this first row, very direct energy. Emperor, King of Swords, the Queen and the King of Wands here. This to me is like saying you need to be laser focused. We see this right here. The Ace of Swords is my card of laser-like focus, being very focused on one thing at a time, maintaining your focus, and really, really kind of dialing in. And that's what I see you doing with that Ace of Swords as well. Very interesting. Next, you have the Freedom card. So freedom is yours here, Capricorn. It's almost like you're growing wings or feathers. You know, I feel you're kind of like, on this card, the baby bird that is leaving its nest with the Freedom card. So I love to see that. Let's see. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Four of Pentacles. This is coming up in your foundation. It's kind of funny. I always say I'm not a big fan of the Four of Pentacles in general, but if it's showing up as the foundation, the Four of Pentacles is a card of having a very solid foundation. You can see his feet are on those two pentacles here, and it kind of just says he has a very solid foundation. In a lot of ways, I just feel like it's saying you have a very solid foundation at this time. The thing about the Four of Pentacles is it might not be amazing. It could be good, but maybe not amazing. And it's like with the Wheel of Fortune coming up next door to this card, to me that really says you're hoping for amazing. You're trying to create amazing in your life, whatever that means for you. But still, very solid foundation, pretty good. It can kind of come up in the sense that maybe you're trying to create a project, a business, and it could say you kind of have the money, but kind of don't. It's like a little bit of a stretch here. To me, this is saying it's worth the risk. If you're starting something and you're having to risk something with the Four of Pentacles. With the Three of Cups, you have the Hierophant. Remember what I said in your first reading. We were talking about this with the Death card, how on the Death card, there is this Pope-like figure right here in the yellow. And we were talking about how you are changing your beliefs. In this diagonal, Emperor, Death card, Three of Cups to the Knight of Wands, the Hierophant is right here in this diagonal. It's like literally saying that you are opening up to new ways of believing things. Even this way here, the Two Kings, Three of Cups to the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is a change. It is a change in the way that you see things. It is a change in the things that you believe. The Hierophant represents like a certain process, a certain way that things happen as well. He is the card of initiation. He has 3 levels to the crown on his head, and they represent, the 3 levels represent initiation, apprenticeship, and mastery. So it's kind of like you are going on to the next phase of things. It makes perfect sense to me. Remember what I was saying at the end of your first reading. I kept saying Taurus. I kept thinking Taurus. I kept getting that Taurus energy, and here it is right here. That also we have Uranus and Taurus, which could change our beliefs, which could have us, looking for different ways of doing things, or could have us thinking of new ways of doing things in our lives. With the Three of Swords, you have the Five of Pentacles. I feel like some of you could be feeling lonely at this time with the Five of Pentacles and that Three of Swords. There are plenty of people around you, is what the reading is saying. You have the Three of Cups as your center card. I kind of feel that some of you, maybe you are feeling lonely. I would get out there and try to meet new people. I would there are people who clearly would be willing to be in your life. So if you're feeling lonely, or if you're feeling left out in the cold, I do feel this could be a little bit of stinking thinking. So I would avoid that at all costs, of course, with this reading. And I would also say that, I feel like that you will be coming out of the cold in general. Remember what I said, it's like clearly that Wheel of Fortune coming up next, we'll talk about this in a second, is saying that there's going to be a rapid change or rapid improvements coming in for you, is kind of how I see this. But I do feel some of you need to speak up with your words because I feel there's like no reason for you to necessarily be alone or anything like that. In your next row, you have this Ears Wide Open card. So clearly this card says listen, kind of like this cute little fox on here. So I feel like you need to open your ears and listen to the things that are being said around you. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Ten of Wands. This is coming up in the next few months. The Ten of Wands is like a lot of work. It does seem to me like people are going to be working hard at the beginning of the year. Not a bad thing, because I feel like this is going to lead to abundance and success for pretty much everyone that wants it. But I do feel like you have to put the work in with the Ten of Wands. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Time to get to work. Knight of Pentacles says you are ready. He is the only knight in the tarot that represents no movement. His horse isn't moving. He isn't moving. But he has these oak leaves on his head. You can see those green leaves. The oak leaves represent wisdom. And like I said, you have the King of Swords here as well. And the King of Swords represents having the knowledge and the wisdom to take action. This to me says you have the knowledge and wisdom. You have everything you need to make something a success. The fields behind him are also empty. There's nothing growing in them. It's like saying, if you get to work, you can grow some great things. You can grow something new. You can grow abundance, relationships, whatever it is that you want. It's funny that that's coming up in the area of your closest relationships as well. And like I said, you could be feeling lonely. I feel like it would be a good time for you. I know I always say it to you, Capricorn, but I mean, it shows up in your readings. It's not like I'm making it up or something. Teamwork makes the dream work. If I were you, Capricorn, and I basically am, then I would be working on relationships, building relationships. And I'm not even referring to love here. This does not have to be love. This could be business relationships. It could be a network, right? Or kind of like a mastermind as well. It's like I have like Napoleon Hill popping into my head right now from Think and Grow Rich. In that book, he talks all about forming a mastermind, or forming a group of people you can bounce ideas off of, and how powerful that can be. So I feel like that would be very good for you. And again, it could just be for fun as well. It doesn't even have to be for business or money or getting rich. It could just be, maybe you just want to have fun. Maybe you like bowling and you want to form a bowling group. I don't care what it is. I would do something, because clearly it shows up. I think people don't think about this here, is it's like, if it's showing up in a reading, it's like, yeah, you might not think bowling is important even if you love doing it, right? You might be like, well, that's not really important to my life, but you might not actually understand how important it is. It's like when we do the things that we enjoy and we form a group and we meet other people and we make connections, you never know what could come out of those connections. And that's really what I feel like your reading is saying. It's like saying there are connections that you could be creating in your life. And it's like, without doing it, you're not going to get the benefits. So it's like, you might as well do it. And you might as well have fun while you're doing it as well. With the Knight of Wands and your future feelings, you have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is about starting something new. You end with the Page of Pentacles as well. I kind of feel this could be communication coming in for you. Like I said, this would be like a new person coming in for you. I would say don't be afraid to like take it slow in a relationship. Knight of Wands, Page of Pentacles is popping into my head as maybe you are being a little bit cautious with that Knight of Pentacles. I don't really see that as a bad thing. And maybe you're kind of moving slowly in a relationship, but I would like get moving on the relationship. I feel like there's a relationship that wants to come in for you here, Capricorn. In your last row, I've put my cards away, so let's not do that. You have the Page of Pentacles and you have the Judgment card. Boom, love it. Are you kidding me? This is a major wake-up call. There are two combinations of cards that I consider to be the most powerful combinations in the tarot. Wheel of Fortune Tower, Wheel of Fortune Judgment card. Also Judgment card Tower as well. So 3, I should say. But the Judgment card with the Wheel of Fortune is like you waking up to your personal vision for your life, and also you waking up to your true purpose. The angels in the tower, in the Judgment card, the angels in the tarot in general represent your higher self. It's like your higher self is asking you to step into a new life. These people are still standing in their coffins. They need to step out of the coffin. They need to go experience something new. They need to kind of step into a new world. It's basically saying a new world has been created, but everybody is like kind of staying stuck in the past. This is how I feel for everybody. I literally feel. I was on a podcast with Leo King, like at the beginning of the year last year, and we were talking about this. We were talking about how it's like people, he has like the best analogy for it. It's like people are waiting to go in and to see a movie, but they're like staying in the lobby. They're not entering the movie theater. And it's kind of like I feel that for you here. It's like things have been set up. It's like the universe has moved everything around in the perfect order for you to manifest your personal vision for your life, whatever that is for you with the Wheel of Fortune. But it's like you're needing to step into the theater. I feel like you're needing to step into that energy. How? Let's ask how. Let's pick a card here. And you have this regeneration card. So healing, number 1. But, again, this makes sense to me. You always get these cards that remind me of your past. Every single time I get one of these cards for you here, Capricorn, I'm always like, oh, they're past. They have this past dream, a past idea, something that they've been thinking about for a very long time. I think you've been thinking about something for a very long period of time, and it is time for you to take action, whether it's like a goal, wish, dream, whatever. Let's see what this card is as well. Yeah, you have this tall tale. See, this is why you're having a hard time manifesting it. Right here. You have this tall tale card. When we say a tall tale, it can kind of represent like lying or something that is a lie. It's almost like you don't believe that you can accomplish something. And this could be very internal, right? It's like, I'm not calling you out here or anything like that, Capricorn, but I feel like you need to start believing that things are possible. That ears wide open card is kind of like saying to me that you need to look for the evidence. And the evidence might be very, very small. Maybe you're saying to yourself, I want to become a billionaire, and maybe you find a penny on the ground. I kind of do think you need to be a little bit like a crazy person. You need to be like, oh my God, evidence that I'm going to become a billionaire. It's like once you start calling it out, even though it's starting very small, once you start calling it out, I feel like the universe is going to be like, okay, and then it's going to bring more to you. Same thing like with love. I would say here that maybe you've experienced some inconsistencies. My problem for you for love is the Page of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles that is showing up in this reading. To me, I feel like you've experienced a situation in the recent past that has made you not believe in love any longer, is how I'm seeing this. But I feel like you need to start looking for evidence. Maybe you see I always use the example of the cute old couple walking around holding hands. Maybe you see that, right? I feel like you need to see that as evidence that it's possible for you. And if you can do that, then you're going to attract it into your life, plain and simple. I love this. Really good reading. So thank you for being here, Capricorn. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. Also, make sure to check out the part 1 of this reading down below. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.